So, you're thinking about moving to Centennial, Colorado, but you're not exactly sure what it has to offer or its overall vibe. Well, today we're going to talk about just that. We'll visit 3 different properties and 3 different price points so you can see what fits in your budget. And we'll talk about some things that you can do inside and outside here in the town of Centennial, Colorado. And with that, we'll get after it right now. Now, my name's Adam. The team and I, we get calls, texts, and emails every day from folks just like you thinking about making their move to the Mile High City and the surrounding area. And whether you're thinking about moving in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. All that information will be found in the description below. As I mentioned, we're here in Centennial. Actually, right now, we're at the Fiddlers Green Amphitheatre. It's kind of a unique spot for concerts because we're in the heart of a city, and actually, more specifically, we're in the DTC, the Denver Tech Center, which originally was founded in the late 70s as a hub for communications kind of conglomerates, mainly AT&T. They built some buildings and housed their headquarters here at some point, and since then it's just grown. What's unique about this theater, I mean, they built it for smaller venues and it's just grown and grown and grown. Now it seats about 18,000 people, and because we are so close to residences, there is actually a noise ordinance they have to comply with, so concerts have to end at a certain time. Now, doesn't mean they always do. I'm just thinking back. I mean, I've seen shows here from bands like Dave Matthews. I've seen Rihanna here. I've seen Korn here. So a lot of big names come through here. And as you can see, they're doing some buildings here, but you can hopefully get a glimpse of the Rocky Mountains and the Front Range right from this vantage point. Now, Centennial, it's a newer city. They actually incorporated it back in 2001, so it's not that old, even though there has been established businesses well before that. Most of the city is on the west side of I-25, but as it's grown, it has jumped over a little bit onto the east side of I-25. Main school district is Cherry Creek School District, and according to niche.com, Cherry Creek schools are actually rated the top school district in the entire state. So Centennial is very family friendly. Actually working with some buyers right now that are looking to buy in Centennial so that they can feed into Cherry Creek High School once their kids are of high school age. So they're definitely planners, planning for the future, and that's what drew them to this area, not only because it's family friendly and they've got things like Fiddlers Green. I mean, right next door is the Museum of Outdoor Sculptures, but you can see we're literally almost like in a business complex here. So it's a unique place. But again, very family friendly. Newer homes for the most part because it was incorporated in early 2000s. And as you can tell from back there, we're not far from the mountains. So hits a lot of boxes for a lot of people. So what I'll do, I'll wrap up here. Obviously this isn't a neighborhood, but I'll still drive around just so you can see kind of what's around here at Fiddlers Green. I mean, I'm looking right there. There's a Starbucks. I know there's an IKEA right down the street. There's the Landmark over here with movie theaters, indoor golf, lots of cool restaurants and things. So everything you want to find or do, you can find in Centennial. There's a light rail that goes straight up I-25 into downtown. I'd say we're probably, depending on traffic, half hour from downtown, so a little on the south side of the Denver metro area, but still in a nice central location with easy access to all the things that might fit your interests. So with that, I'll wrap it up here, and we'll drive around the neighborhood and head over to our first property. Alright guys, so we've made it to our first property. It was maybe a mile from Fiddlers Green over there. We just came east, jumped over I-25, and it brought us here to this lovely townhome community. I know it may not look like much from the outside, but inside there's actually 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. We've got this little deck right here and some grass, so you got a little yard. The community is really close to Arapahoe Road. That's not Arapahoe Road right there, but just beyond those buildings. And I mentioned Arapahoe Road, that's a major thoroughfare. I mean, all your conveniences, restaurants, grocery stores, everything you can need. It's really conveniently located there. And this place was built in the 70s, late 70s. And I know I mentioned Centennial wasn't incorporated until 2000s. That's just when they officially became the city of Centennial. There were still people living here before that, obviously, with this being built in the 70s. But 4 bed, 2.5 bath, and listed at $450,000. So with that said, I mean, it brings that price per square foot under 300. It's like $287, something like that. So it's right in that sweet spot that I like to find for my clients. And you could tell, I mean, there's one drawback is there's no garage, so it's just street parking here. Not a big deal on a gorgeous day like today, but when it snows, and it will, you know, you just have to swipe off the snow from your car. Luckily, when it does snow, the next day usually the sun comes out and it all melts, so it's good there. As you can tell, it's fall. The leaves are changing. We've got a nice bright yellow tree here, mixed among, you know, some pine trees and other ones that haven't changed yet. So I chose this property because you're not going to find a single family home in Centennial for under $500,000. So if that's what you're looking for and that's around your budget, Centennial might not be the place for you, unless, you know, you're willing to compromise on that single family home aspect, maybe give up the garage in order to be in the Cherry Creek School District, because again, that's one of the things that draw people to Centennial. It's very family friendly, great school districts, and the location. So again, we're on the south side of Denver. You can take the light rail up to downtown, and, you know, going south, we're kind of on the tail end of the metro area. Once you hit the end of metro area, there's really not much going on. There is some development, but then you'll run into cities like Castle Rock and Monument and those things on your way down to Colorado Springs. Now, we are kind of close to the Centennial Airport, so I haven't heard any planes yet. It's a smaller regional airport, so, you know, it's not like DIA or Denver International. Much smaller, more private planes coming in and out of there. Really close to the Denver Broncos training facility, and a lot of bigger homes as you move a little bit more south. But again, this place, quiet community. It is unfortunately right on this road here, but it's kind of standard traffic that's driving by. 4 beds, 2.5 baths. A little dated on the inside, you know, the cabinets and whatnot, but I think you can put your touch on it. It's a fantastic home at a fantastic price and a fantastic location. So what I'll do from here, I'll drive around this community just so you can get a little bit more of an idea. I mean, right across the street it looks like it's some sort of RV, or I don't know. They've got lifts and trucks and stuff in there, so it's a little industrial there because that's Arapahoe. There's tons of businesses there. So the community or the neighborhood is really Cherry Creek Farm. which is the name of the townhomes. So I'll drive around in here, let you see what it looks like, and then we'll head on over to our next property. Alright guys, so we've made it on over to our second property here in the Willow Creek neighborhood. Came back on the other side of I-25 about another mile. So we're just south of Fiddlers Green there, off of Arapahoe Road. Now this house was built in 1979. It's got 4 beds, 2 baths, just over 1,800 square feet, and a really big backyard. So that square footage, you know, we're just over that $300 a foot threshold that I like to find, but it's not always possible, especially here in Centennial, a highly sought after area. So I think we're about $359 a foot. But the good thing is the home's been renovated. Upstairs it's got a nice open kitchen, nice big deck out back, and again that big backyard. You can see the neighborhood is really quiet. Everyone keeps up on their yard work, and actually just behind these homes is the Little Dry Creek Trail, which is one of hundreds of trails in the Denver metro area. And the reason why I bring that one up is because I know that trail goes all the way up to Westminster, actually right by where I live. So if you're one of those folks that likes to get a long ride in on a bike, I mean, you can go all the way up to Westminster and back and get your miles in that way. As I mentioned, it's Willow Creek neighborhood, feeds into Cherry Creek. There's an elementary school around the corner, tons of parks. Again, Arapahoe Road is only a couple blocks away. You've got your grocery stores like Sprouts coming over here. I saw a nice library coming into the neighborhood. You know, there's Torchy's Tacos, regular Taco Bell, a place called Pindustry. I think we might wrap up at, because I've been in there. It's a cool place. It's almost like a Dave & Buster's. But again, we're on the west side of I-25 here in a nice quiet neighborhood. A lot of these houses, you know, before Centennial was incorporated as a city, they were built. So you got a lot of these ranch homes. The other one was a split level where you walk in, you can kind of go up for the upstairs, a couple bedrooms up there. Downstairs you've got your, I'll call it family room, with a couple more bedrooms and bathroom down there. What I like about that house is it's updated in the kitchen. It's where you're going to spend a lot of your time. Big island, nice open area, and then that backyard is really nice too. So you've got private place to call your own, run around with the kids or the dog, barbecue, all that fun stuff that people like to do here in the Mile High City. So what I'll do is wrap up and drive around, that is, this neighborhood, just so you can get a better idea of the homes here inside of Willow Creek. Again, it's highly desirable. I mean, I'm searching in this area for some clients right now. We're trying to keep it at that $650 price point, and gosh, there's only a handful that are coming up currently. I know there's another one hitting tomorrow that we're going to check out. So, you know, the reason why folks are moving here, again, family-friendly community, nice and quiet, big wide roads, the location's great, and the school districts are great. So because of that, not a lot of people move away from the neighborhood, so there's less inventory to choose from. So that's one thing we're running into right now. Got a couple opportunities to see some houses this weekend. We've actually checked out this house. It's still on the market. It's been 50 days or so. But nationwide days on market have gone up. So it's not necessarily surprising or a shock, but I expect this one to go by the end of the year for sure. So I'll wrap up, do like we do, drive around the neighborhood, take you on to the next property. Alright guys, so we made it on over to our third property. Just came a little bit more west, kept driving west towards the mountains on Arapahoe Road. This particular community is called the Arapahoe Estates, and in West Centennial, average price point is about $730,000. This home here is listed at $799,000. It's 3-bed, 3-bath, a little over 2,200 square feet, built in 1993. So that puts our price per square foot at about $359 again, and it's a little higher than kind of the area average, where we just were in Willow Creek. That average was $703,000 list price. So that last house was a little under market. This one's just a little bit over according to the numbers. Big house, only 3 bedrooms, but all the rooms are really big. You've got a ton of kind of entertaining space, big kitchen, big living room and everything. And again, West Centennial here. So just before we move into Littleton butts right up to Centennial, another great area with great schools. Check out our other videos that we've got posted for Littleton. As you can see here, we're on a nice little cul-de-sac. They've got some green space over here. All these houses built in the early 90s, and you can see that with, you know, kind of the kitchen and the bathrooms, just kind of the finishes they have, but cosmetic fixes, great bones, and again, great location. It's nice and quiet. You can maybe, the sun might be in the way, but you can see the mountain ranges there. Fall foliage is coming out. It's a gorgeous day here in Centennial. So as I mentioned, this house was $799,000. You know, we're really close to Greenwood Village, which is not necessarily a city, but kind of a city of itself, and that's where you're going to find all the mansions, like huge houses sitting on acres of land that also feed into Cherry Creek High School. So it's an affluent area, very family friendly. A lot of families live here, and as I mentioned, they don't tend to move because once you get in, you can make it your forever home. Especially a house like this, 3 beds might be a little small for some folks, especially if you're working from home, but they've got areas where you can set up a desk and office and everything like that. So as you can see it from the other side of the street, it's got nice curb appeal. You know, all these houses, they're not cookie cutter. They've all got a kind of a unique character to it, unlike some master plans where they're just pumping out homes to satisfy demand. But you know, you can see sidewalk art, chalk art on that sidewalk. Got a basketball goal here, so you can tell that there's some kids in this neighborhood too. It's well established though, since it was from the 90s. These trees, most of them are nice and mature and big. And again, we're just on the west side of Centennial, West Centennial, getting into Littleton, and then beyond that you're gonna hit the foothills in the mountains. So great location, good schools, nice and quiet. Even though Arapahoe Road is just behind these homes, you really can't hear the traffic, which is really nice. So you got the convenience without the headache of like a highway being in your backyard. Again, Arapahoe Road is main thoroughfare. You're gonna get all your groceries, you know, your dentist. You can find anything you want on Arapahoe Road. Just ask anybody. Even if you want to buy a car, they've got dealerships right there by the highway. So what I'll do is wrap up here. I think we've hit this street and drive around the neighborhood a little bit so you can see what the rest of Arapahoe Estates looks like, and then we'll kick it off with our outro. I think I will go back by Pindustry. I drove by it on the way here, and I think it's just a good spot to highlight, you know, something to do with the kids, family fun, and it's around, you know, a big shopping center, a retail area, so you can see the convenience of that too. So we'll wrap up and drive around the neighborhood. Alright guys, so as promised, we stopped over at Pindustry here. You can see it's a huge building. They've got the upstairs deck up there. It's part of the facility, and below they've got other retail spots. They've got a wine and bourbon bistro. They've got a sandwich shop, walks. I mean, it's a boxing place here. Right next door there's like a basketball kind of club for kids. I saw a bunch of kids coming out of there. You know, this is one of the main retail centers for Centennial. I mean, Centennial is it's just suburbs, right? You're in the burbs. But Arapahoe Road, up and down Arapahoe Road, is just retail shop after retail shop. So regardless of where you live in Centennial, because it is 30 square mile area, you're going to be close to Arapahoe Road, and then, you know, pockets of things like this. I mean, right now I can see on the marquee they've got a jazz experience every, well, the sign's a little broken, it says T day, so every Thursday or every Tuesday. It might be Thursday because today's Thursday and it's pretty packed. So in terms of indoor activities, Pindustry's got you covered. And they've got bowling, they've got arcades, all kinds of stuff. I mean, I'll go in there, but it's a big old line and I don't want to mess with that. Lots of good food, drinks, lots of TVs. So when it's the winter time, you can go in there and have fun, listen to some jazz music on Thursdays, or on a day like today. I mean, Fiddlers Green is right behind there. You can barely see the top of that building. That was right next to Fiddlers Green. So you've got outdoor concerts there. You've got the mountains right behind me here. So tons of trails and parks, just like any city here in the Mile High area. You know, they're gonna have your parks and your trails. That's kind of a staple if you're gonna be in any Colorado town. That's what you most likely get into. Not a necessity, but it's what a lot of people move here for. So just wanted to show you Pindustry here. I mean, they've got Qdoba, they've got Goodyear, everything you need. Oil changes, get new tires. There's your Starbucks right there. I see a Shake Shack. Got your QT. Everything's compact, nice and convenient, even though you're here in the burbs, right? So Denver's not far, but Centennial is a great place, whether you have kids or not. I mean, again, I've mentioned the schools is what bring a lot of folks here, a lot of families here, but there's a lot to do for any age. So hope you enjoyed this tour of Centennial, and until next time, hopefully we see you around town.